Hey, this is Carly from Equipped for Battle. Today I'm going to talk to you about why yoga can kind of go into this area of being sinful and how the yoga practice itself, especially combined with things like crystals and certain forms of meditation, can be sinful. So we're going to talk about that today. Here's my disclaimer at the beginning of this video. If you are using certain aspects of yoga or stretching to be healthier in the long run, that's not sinful, okay? Like stretching and helping your body become healthier is not the sinful part of this, but yoga itself is a spiritual practice, especially if you are making it a practice or a type of identity for yourself. And so that's what we're going to get into today. Yoga is an over 5,000-year-old ancient Indian practice. This was used by what they call mystic seers to implement the idea of wisdom, intuition, and karmic actions. Each move and mantra within the yoga practice is related to a Hindu god that is meant to give them praise and adoration. It's also a form to be one with the universe. Does that sound familiar to something that I've talked about before? It's talked about many times in my videos, but especially the astrology one, being one with the universe. And this is something that yoga mentions a lot, and especially in relation to their Hindu gods. The practice of yoga, like true yoga practice, is synonymous with Hinduism and their gods. So already you're practicing something that is a form of religion. And this is something that we need to watch out for, because when it's related to Hindu gods, whether you believe it or not, and whether you're just using yoga practices for a way of spiritual enlightening or being one with the universe through healthy means, this is still a way for you to connect with these Hindu gods. This is not the same teachings as Jesus. So you cannot be a Jesus follower and also be involved within the religion and practice of yoga. Here is the issue to take away from this. God is the creator. God created the universe. We cannot sit here and deitize the universe and make it seem like it's something that it's not. We cannot praise the universe and ask for guidance from something that was created by God himself. We also cannot attain the level of godship that these certain religions say that we can't. We cannot elevate the universe and deitize it to be on God's level. Neither can we ever be one with the Creator. Creation is not the creator. We can be part of God's family because we're adopted in, but we will never be on the same level or deitization as God himself. The yoga, if you're really practicing like the practice of yoga, it is a way to kind of deter you from spending time with God. And if you notice yoga instructors for the most part and people who are really embedded in the way of life of yoga and what that religion kind of brings to them, that is their religion. This is what they are practicing. And it is a way to kind of keep you away from God. And it can theoretically open doorways to demonic spirits that you don't even realize you're opening. But especially because yoga implements crystals, it implements things like divination and worshiping things that are not God himself. So we need to be careful of that. And like I said before, I'm not talking about just taking stretches from yoga or doing like a quick yoga video. If I do a yoga video, because let's be honest, like I need to stretch. So sometimes I'll do a yoga video, but I don't do the mantras. I know that they say like certain yoga moves are, and they are, certain yoga moves and mantras, they are a way to symbolize their gods. But if you're not using it in that way, I really do think it's innocent. So like certain stretches are very healthy for your body, and I will do yoga because I think yoga videos are great for your body. But I'm not sitting there connecting myself to the universe. I'm not sitting there connecting myself to like certain gods. I'm not saying the mantras. I don't say things like namaste at the end because none of that matters to me. The only thing that matters to me is the health aspect I'm getting from it, okay? That's perfectly okay. Just don't get into this like practicing yoga, saying the mantras, and trying to take the moves that you're doing and carrying them over to connect them to some kind of Hinduism, like spiritualism that you're doing. We need to be healthy, yes. Yoga videos and the stretches can be an important way to be healthy in your life. You just got to be careful that you're not crossing that line. Don't say the mantras. Don't do any of the breathing exercise. I actually would kind of caution from that. But like I said, you have to use discretion when you're doing this. If you feel like this is just a way for you to be healthy, by all means, watch that yoga video. But if you feel like that you're kind of diving into this like way of life and this ritualistic yoga practice, that's something where you kind of need to check yourself on. So I leave that up to the person, because I do think that yoga videos and yoga stretches can be very healthy for the body, but we just need to be careful that it's not going over into the actual spiritualistic practice that yoga ultimately is in the long run. My goal in making this video is to not put down anyone's culture. That is the last thing I want to do. I think that there are aspects of every religion where I can see why people would identify with that. I really can. And for thousands of years, people have identified with Hinduism. But I believe in the love of Christ, and I've seen Jesus in action, and I've read the Bible, and there is a truth to this thing called life, and the truth is God, and the truth is Jesus, and Jesus unlocked that grace and forgiveness for us to be forgiven, and he died on that cross for our sins. And I don't know any other religion where God himself came down as man and lived a perfect life so that he could die for his people and go through like horrific torture. If you look up the way that Jesus was crucified, it's horrific. It's a horrible way to die, but he went through that pain and agony so that our sins could be put on him and so that we can be reunited with him in the long run. I don't know any other religion that does that. I have not seen any other religion where the love of God himself is poured out on the people this much, with this much forgiveness, where we don't have to sacrifice a thing except for our devotion and our faith and our love to this loving Father who only wants relationship with us. Like I said, I'm not here to put down people's cultures, but I do know, and I have seen the truth of God, and I've seen it work in my life, and I've seen him at work in many people's lives. And if you just accept him and try to understand him, that mystery of who God is will come to light. I can guarantee that. I'm going to read something real quick from the Bible. It's Hebrews chapter 13, verse 8 through 9. And I want to read this real quick, and I want to end the video with this. And I want you to really listen to what I'm saying, because I think it's important to end the video on this. And I want you to search your heart and ask, why is she reading this at the end of this video? Here we go. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. Do not be carried away by all kinds of strange teachings. It is good for our hearts to be strengthened by grace. Hey, this is Equipped for Battle. I'm Carly. Please like this video if you found it helpful, share it if you feel like people need to listen to it, and comment down below anything you need to talk about. Please check out the next video, everyone. God bless.